Members of Congress are set to take on a deepening mystery after at least 10 American scientists, all with ties to U.S. nuclear or space research programs, have died or disappeared. The House Oversight Committee saying it will investigate the string of incidents, writing, if the reports are accurate, these deaths and disappearances may represent a grave threat to U.S. national security. President Trump even said he was briefed on the matter last week.
I hope it's random, but we're going to know in the next week and a half.
The mysterious deaths and disappearances began in 2023 when Michael David Hicks died at the age of 59. Between 2024 and 2025, 7 other scientists were reportedly killed or went missing. The wave of deaths and disappearances sparking a slew of suspicion and conspiracy theories online. Now, the cases are getting even more attention as federal investigators and lawmakers look for a potential link.
Investigation into 10 scientists who've gone missing or died, some under mysterious circumstances, has prompted the White House to order the FBI to investigate. Fox 11's Phil Schuman back again with the local connections some of these scientists have to SoCal.
Yeah, this is a very unusual story. A number of government agencies are looking into this. One phrase used was its, quote, raised eyebrows. Now the White House says they'll leave no stone unturned in this investigation. As you mentioned, Christine, 10 scientists involved with government agencies or military research died or have been reported missing since 2023. 3 worked at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory in La Cañada, Flint Ridge near Pasadena. Michael Dowd Hicks was a researcher. He died in July 2023. Frank Maywald, a principal researcher, died in July 2024. Monica Jacinto Reza was an aerospace engineer at JPL. She vanished last June while hiking with a companion in the Angeles National Forest. Carl Grillmar was a Caltech astrophysicist, shot and killed outside his home. The questions now, were these coincidences or is it something more sinister?
There are now 10 American scientists who have either gone missing or died since mid-2024. They all reportedly had access to classified nuclear or aerospace material. Is anybody investigating this to see if these things are connected?
I've seen the report, Peter. I haven't spoken to our relevant agencies about it. I will certainly do that and we'll get you an answer. If true, of course, that's definitely something I think this government and administration would deem worth looking into. So let me do that for you.
All right, guys. Now, by nature, I am not a conspiracy theorist, but I will question a narrative. And this story is truly bizarre. And it turns out that is all true. It's not mid-2024. It's actually 2023. But aside from that, in just 3 years, 10 American scientists are dead or missing, and they all had some sort of security clearances. They were involved with NASA. They were studying defense operations. And it's very strange how this all took place, especially the people that have gone missing.
11 American scientists, some of the brightest minds in nuclear weapons, space exploration, and classified government programs, dead or vanished. FBI, the White House, and the Congress have launched investigation. This is not a movie plot. This is happening right now. This is truth verdict. Relax as we break it down for you. Special credit to the Stitches video used in this documentary.
Take a listen.
There's a story that caught our attention. We're talking about a number of U.S. scientists, some connected to very sensitive research, who have died or disappeared. Let's break down what we know so far. We're going to start with Carl Grillmar. Carl Grillmar, pictured here, was an astrophysicist at Caltech. He worked on a NASA-supported space telescope project and infrared systems. Now, he was shot and killed at his home just 2 months ago. Then there's Frank Maywald. He was a senior scientist at NASA's Jet Propulsion Lab, focused on advanced satellite systems, and he died nearly 2 years ago, but his cause of death has never been made public. Meanwhile, Monica Reza also reportedly connected to NASA's Jet Propulsion Lab project. She went missing last summer while hiking in California. No trace. It keeps going. There's William McCaslin, a retired Air Force general. He too is missing. He's a former head of Air Force Research Lab and oversaw advanced space and surveillance programs. He's been missing since February. And reports say he once oversaw funding connected to a project that also included Monica Reza. Now, there's more. to New Mexico. Melissa Casais. She has been missing since last summer. She worked at Los Alamos National Lab. She had an administrative role, but reportedly also had security clearances. Just months earlier that she went missing, so too did Anthony Chavez, also connected to Los Alamos, an engineer. He disappeared during a walk. No signs, no answers. And then finally, there's Nuno Loureiro. You remember Nuno Loureiro? He was the MIT researcher focused on nuclear fusion and was shot and killed in his Massachusetts home last December. It was the case of the Brown shooter. It's a separate case with no confirmed links to the others. But here's the key point. Authorities have not connected these cases, but look at the overlap. The same handful of institutions, NASA, Air Force Research, Los Alamos Laboratory. So, could they be connected? Or is this something else entirely?
And on top of all that, that isn't even all the people that are missing or dead. There's 3 more people. And the 10th person to go missing was last August. It's this man, Steven Garcia. Take a look at these details. This story says that Steven Garcia, 48, was last seen on August 28, 2025, walking out of his Albuquerque home on foot in a green camouflage shirt and shorts just after 9 a.m. He was carrying a handgun. He has not been seen since. An anonymous source told the Daily Mail that Garcia was a government contractor at the Kansas City National Security Campus facility in Albuquerque, a site that manufactures more than 80% of all non-nuclear components used in the military's nuclear weapons. Garcia reportedly served as property custodian, overseeing tens to hundreds of millions of dollars worth of equipment and assets, some classified, with a top security clearance and broad access to the entire facility. The source described it as a very high-level oversight position for all of the site's assets. And that raises the question, who is behind these disappearances and people turning up dead?
And it sounds crazy, but between Garcia and General McCaslin, I have to wonder, and again, I know this sounds crazy, but it could be an option here. I mean, is the government doing this? Are they taking out their own people because of XYZ? And wait, I want to point something else out to you, Jesse.
I don't even want to
literally,
I'm
on a roll. I'm on a roll. But tomorrow, April 14th, that is when Rep. Anna Luna gave Pete Hegseth this deadline. She requested 46 UAP videos, and look, there's a good reason behind it. I mean, these videos she detailed in this filing, and they say, you know, Iran, XYZ date, 2022, Syria, XYZ date, shaped like a cigar. This is a matter of national security. And this is important because in real time, we don't know what's in the sky. We don't know if this is some kind of, a UAP. We don't know if it's a drone. We don't know enough.
Are you getting any official word from authorities, investigators that are maybe trying to link these 10 episodes? Are they all disconnected? They're saying you can't make a connection because, again, you think you laid it out very well. There are eerie similarities.
Of course there are. You're absolutely right. And I've reached out to Rep. Burleson's office, Rep. Burchett's office, and I did hear back from Burleson's office last week. And look, they said, they haven't heard directly from the White House and they haven't brought up General McCaslin's disappearance at all. They were being very safe with me, I want to say. Rep. Burchett's office didn't respond to me at all. But Burchett just said, I forget what show he was on, but he just said he talked to, quote, folks at the White House about this and that President Trump is about to do some disrupting. I just don't believe it. Obama tried to release these UFO files. Clinton tried to release them. Nothing happened. I get it. People think Trump is different, but what's so different? I mean,
again, there are just so many questions. Like they mentioned, again, General Neil McCaslin, this guy was an Air Force general. He was also in New Mexico, and he also went missing while carrying a handgun. Take a look at these details to his case. According to the Bernalillo County Sheriff's Office, the 68-year-old's last known location was at or near his home in the Quail Run Court Northeast area on the morning of Friday, February 27th, 2026 in Albuquerque, New Mexico. His phone, prescription glasses, and wearable devices were found at the home, while his hiking boots, wallet, and a .38 caliber revolver were reported missing. Police also noted he had an unspecified medical condition. And according to a previously reported report by Newsweek, McCaslin held high-ranking roles in the U.S. Air Force spanning science, technology, and space research, and was a commander of the Air Force Research Laboratory at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. His career included key roles in space acquisition and operations, as well as Pentagon posts on defense, space, and technology initiatives. Again, both of these men went missing in New Mexico in the Albuquerque area. They both had ties to the defense industry. They left their home with a handgun, and in the general's case, he didn't take his cell phone or his prescription glasses with him, so it didn't sound like he was planning to leave. This must have been something done very quickly, and now he's gone and nobody's heard from him. And that was just this February. So we need some answers here, and I don't know that we're going to get them. But there's no denying that these cases are very strange. In the United States, every year, thousands of people are reported missing, hundreds of thousands of people, but then they turn up. In fact, in less than 0.5% or 0.4% of all cases, people go missing and never turn up again. And that's what happened to all these people, and they all have a connection to either space or defense or something in that field where there was classified information. That is very weird, and people want answers, but at this point, like that woman said, we're always promised that they're going to release all the files. But let's be honest, there's stuff the government has and that they don't want anybody to know about. And if there are people out there that they think are a risk to spread that information, then they're going to do something about it. And I know this sounds like some psychological thriller novel, but let's be honest. We know there's black sites where they take people. We know that the government has had people killed. Maybe it did happen here, but I think people are going to demand more answers because this kind of stuff is pretty scary.
June 2022, Alabama. A 34-year-old researcher named Amy Eskridge found dead. Authority ruled it as self-inflicted gunshot wounded. Case closed. But before her death, Eskridge appeared on postcard claiming she and her team have been harassed, psychologically targeted. Why? Because of what they are working on. Anti-graphic exotic fishes. The kind of research you don't see in press release. Most people didn't notice her death, but history has a pattern. It repeats. July 30th, 2023, Michael David, 59 years old, a 24 years veteran of NAFA jets. He dies. No cause of death is ever made public. July 4th, 2024, Frank Mayward, 61 years old, also JPL, a scientist who spent his career building instruments to detect water, organic, and signs of life on other worlds. He died. No public cause, no autopsy. A man with a level of classified assets and no autopsy. December 2025. MIT Professor Nono Lowry, Director of Plasma Science and Fusion Center, one of the leaders' minds in nuclear fission technology that could redefine global energy. He is shot multiple times in his home. He died the next morning. A suspect is identified, someone who knew him. Days later, that suspect died by suicide. Case closed. But not everybody is convinced. February 2026, Carl Grimeyer, NASA researcher, 67 years old, shot on his front porch in California. A suspect is arrested, a 29-year-old man. Authorities say they didn't know each other. But here what stands out. The suspect had been caught trespassing on his property weeks earlier. Random? Maybe, but it doesn't feel random. And then there is Justin Thompson, a pharmaceutical researcher, 45 years old. December 2025, he walked out of his home. No code, no phone, no explanation. 3 months later, his body is found. But here is where it gets even stranger. Not all of them are dead. Some simply vanish. July 2025. June 2025. Monica Rizal, Aerospace Engineering Director of NASA Jet Pollution Laboratory. She goes hiking. She never comes back. No trace, no evidence, nothing. Melissa Cassius, National Laboratory Top Security Clearance, gone. Anthony Cassius, Overseas Contractor at Los Alamos, gone. Stephen Gaius, Government Contractor with National Security Nokia Administration, missing. And then the case that got Congress involved, retired Air Force Major General Williams Nellie McCasland, a man deeply connected to Nokia research and UAP program. February 27, 2026, he walks out of his home, leaving behind his phone, his glasses, and his smart watch. He disappeared. The FBI is now involved. He has not been found. Now, let's be clear. These cases don't all observe connection. Different states, different institutions, different circumstances. Some were shot, some dead mysteriously, some simply walk away. But Congress highlighted one chilling detail. Multiple individuals left their homes without their phones. In 2026, nobody does that. So what goes on? Let's break it down. The United States employ hundreds of thousands of scientists in classified work. Statistically, some will die, some will disappear. Investigators have said they see no connection, and history warns us. When you look for patterns, you often find them. That's called confirmation bias. This is what investigators are seriously considering. Countries like Russia, China, Iran, and North Korea have a documented history of targeting scientists. If you want to weaken a rival nation capability, nuclear, space, and energy, this is exactly how you will do it. And those missing phones, that could suggest coordination or deliberate aviation of surveillance. Some believe this is internal, a shadow operation theory, the idea that individuals tied to scientific or controversial programs may have been silent, removed, disappeared, or forced into hiding. Amy S. Critch claimed psychological targeting, and others reportedly as connected to scientific disclosure. This is where things get even more complex. Several of these individuals were working in the intersection of space exploration, advanced physics, and UAP research. This isn't random science. This is the cutting-edge, possibility, classified, and deep scientific work. History tells us something important. During the Cold War, scientific work on nuclear and space programs were among the most targeted individuals in the world, not just by enemy, but sometimes by their own government, because knowledge is power, and power makes you vulnerable. 11 people, nuclear lab, NASA, UAP program, dead or missing since 2022. The FBI is investigating. Congress is investigating. White House is investigating. And so far, they said there is nothing alarming. Maybe it's coincidence. Maybe it's foreign interference. Maybe it's something deeper. Now, I want to hear from you. What do you think is happening? Drop your thought in the comments. If you want more deep investigation like this, like this video, share it, and subscribe to Truth Verdicts.